We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 1. Level of difficulty is very easy. Which expression is equivalent to this mess? So it's a simple exponents problem. I'm going to write down A, B, C, D because I want to cross off here. Rewrite this thing, but take out the parentheses to save a step. There's no minus sign here, so you don't have to worry about changing signs. Take it one term at a time, 2x squared and x squared. What's that? Adding them up is 3x squared. A and B are gone. So do the x term next. It's plus x and plus 6x, plus 7x. No help. And then minus 9 and plus 1 is minus 8. C says minus 10. And so D's the answer. Move fast. Don't hurry. Get it right. Move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 2. What's the level of difficulty here? It's very easy. John paid a total of $165 for a microscope by making a down payment of $37 plus P monthly payments of $16 each. Which of the following equations represents this situation? So what's the SAT concept here? It's algebra and words. This concept is definitely going to come up on your SAT. It usually will come up in easy questions, but it can come up anywhere. The way to do these is to always deconstruct things. The first thing you want to do is think about the letter and where does it go. P monthly payments of $16. So that's 16P. So A, B, C, D, anything that doesn't have a 16P in it, you can cross off. A has 16P, but B has 37P, and D also has 37P. All right, what about the 37? What are you going to do to it? You're going to add it, subtract it, divide it. What's going to happen? You're going to add it. So between A and C, A says you're subtracting it, C says you're adding it, and so C's the answer. You can move quickly here, don't hurry, get it right, and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 3. Level of difficulty is easy. The first 7 questions on any Section 1 are always going to be easy. 7m equals 2 times n plus p. The given equation relates the positive numbers m, n, and p. Which equation correctly gives m in terms of n and p? So what are we looking for? We're looking for m. And what's the SAT concept here? Guys, this problem is a plug-in. You don't have to plug in on easy questions, but this one's just so easy to do. Let's just do it. Start by writing down the equation. And all you're doing when you're plugging in is you're making up numbers for letters. You can start anywhere you want. You should start where there's the most math happening, which is probably on the right side of the equal sign. And you want to make up numbers that go with the numbers you already have. So 7 and 2, you probably want to make up something that ends up with 14, or 28, or 42, or whatever. So I'm going to make n 3. I'm going to make p 4. So I've got 2 times 7, which is 14. So I'm going to make m equal 2, so that 14 can equal 14. I'm looking for m, so I'm looking for 2. So I'm going to write down the answer choices. I'm going to write them down vertically. You don't have to. And then I'm just going to plug in the numbers I made up. They're all m equals, so 2 times n plus p. 2 times 7 over 7. That's 14 over 7. That's 2. Hey man, that's probably the answer. Let's try B, C, and D. 2 times n plus p. 2 times 7, that's 14. Nope. 2 times 7, which is 14, minus 7, which is 7. Nope, I'm looking for 2. And then 2 minus 3 minus 4 minus 7, that's going to be negative, so no. So A is the answer. You can get this right real quick and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 4. What's the level of difficulty here? It's easy. The function g is defined by g of x equals square root of 8x plus 1. What's the value of g of 3? So what are we looking for? G of 3. And what's the SAT concept here? It's a function. If you think about it for a second, this is also a plugin. It's just that ETS is telling you got to plug in 3. So a function is ETS asking you, can you follow directions? Can you follow directions? Great, then you can do a function. Write down the function and follow the directions. It's telling you to plug in 3 every time you see an x. So it's square root of 8 times 3 plus 1. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25, square root of 25. Guys, that's 5. So the answer is C. Get it right real quick and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 5. What's the level of difficulty here? Easy. You're not allowed to miss easy questions. The table gives the distribution of votes for a new mascot and grade level for 80 students. If one of these students is selected at random, what's the probability of selecting a student whose vote for a new mascot was for a lion? So what are we looking for? Lion votes. All right, the first thing I want to point out here really quickly is that obviously Badger is the coolest name, and the 6th graders completely killed it. But anyways, we're looking for lion, and we're looking for what kind of students? All students. So where is that? It's obviously right here. So it's 20 students, and we're looking for how many students total? 80. Probability is just what you want over total things that can happen. So guys, that's the answer. You just got to reduce it. Dividing by 10, the zeros go away. 2 over 8, you know this one. It's 1/4. And so the answer is C. That's it. You get it right real quick and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 6. What's the level of difficulty here? Easy. A student council group is selling school posters for a fundraiser. They use the function p of x equals 5x minus 220 to determine their profit p of x in dollars for selling x school posters. In order to earn a profit of $900, how many school posters must they sell? So first things first, write down what you're looking for. And then secondly, let's observe together how stupid this question is, because there is no high school student anywhere in America who would ever use a function to figure out what their profit is for selling posters. But we're in SAT land, so we go with it. A function is just ETS asking you if you can follow directions. And I know you can follow directions. So write down the function. And then just what's the x? X is posters, because ETS says that. And what's p of x? P of x is profit, because ETS says that. So it's just 900 equals 5x minus 220, because the profit is 900. And now you've just got a simple algebraic equation. I'm going to move the 220 across the equal sign. It's going to become positive. I'm going to add this up on your calculator. You're going to get 1120. So you got 1120 equals 5x. You can divide both sides by 5. More calculator math. And when you do it, you're going to get 224. And guess what? That's it. That's the answer. Get it right and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 7. What's the level of difficulty here? It's easy. The first 7 questions on Section 1 are always easy, so this is the last question you can depend on being easy. You've got a graph. Which of the following equations is the most appropriate linear model for the data shown in the scatter plot? This is a problem where there's not much math required. You just have to know the line equation. What is it? It's y equals mx plus b. What is the slope of this line equation? It's m. So I'm going to write down a, b, c, d big and bold. And I'm going to think about what's my slope here. It's obviously negative, right? If you draw a line, it's going to be going down. It's a negative slope. So cross off answer choices that have a positive slope. Look at them. It's C and D. Great. Next thing, what is this? It's the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept going to be in this line? Well, if you make a line, it looks like it's going to be at about 10, right? Is it plus 10 or is it minus 10? It's obviously plus 10. So the answer is B. You can get this right real quick and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 8. What's the level of difficulty here? It's medium. This is the first medium problem. You got two equations. The solution to the given system of equations is xy. What's the value of y? So what are you looking for? Y. Write it down. And this problem is simultaneous equations. How do you know? Because it's got two equations. So just write down the equations, put a line under them, and all you're going to do with simultaneous equations is add or subtract. Which should you do, add or subtract? Let's just subtract, because if we subtract, these 3x's go away. 3x minus 3x is 0. 6 minus 4 is 2. 4y minus 2y is 2y. And now, 2 equals 2y, anyone can do that. Divide by 2, both sides. Y equals 1. And that's it. That's the answer. Get this right real quick and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 9. What's the level of difficulty supposed to be on this problem? It's supposed to be medium. I got good news and bad news. The good news is this question is definitely not medium. It's very easy. The bad news is that Evil Testing Service is going to get you later on this test in Section 2, because Section 2 is a real bear. But let's take advantage of this while we can. There's a table. It says the frequency table summarizes the 57 data values in a data set. What's the maximum data value in the data set? So why not write down what we're looking for? And then from here, it's basically, can you read? You're looking for maximum data value. This says data value. So you're looking at this column. It says frequency, doesn't ask about that. What's the maximum number in this column? It's 14. So that's the maximum data value. You get this right in about 3 seconds and you move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 10. What's the level of difficulty supposed to be here? It's supposed to be medium. Guys, this question is really easy. It's a gift. Circle K has a radius of 4. Circle L has an area of 100 pi. What's the total area of circles K and L? I do want to point out that this comma here is Evil Testing Services doing, not mine. All right, guys, this is about the area of a circle. So start by writing down the formula. What's the area of a circle? It's pi r squared. You know that. So for circle K, pi r squared is pi times 4 squared, which is 16 pi. That's the area. For circle L, you already have the area. It's 100 pi. What's the total area of circles K and L? All right, well, if you can add 116, you're golden. It's 116 pi. Get this question right real quick and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 11. What's the level of difficulty here? It's medium. You got this nasty equation. What is the value of 4 minus 3x? So what are we looking for? 4 minus 3x. Write it down and circle it. And then take a look here. What does this say? 4 minus 3x. What does this say? 4 minus 3x. So you can just treat these things like x's, which is 9x plus 2 equals 8x plus 18. All right, cool. I'm going to move our x's to the left side. 9x minus 8x, that's x. We're going to move our numbers to the right side. 18 minus 2 is 16. And guess what, man? That is it. That's the answer. It's D. You can get this right very quick if you do it this way and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 12. What's the level of difficulty here? It's medium. Triangle FGH is similar to triangle JKL, where angle F corresponds to angle J, and angles G and K are right angles. If sine F equals 308 over 317, what's the value of sine J? So write down what you're looking for, circle it, and then where are these figures? They're not here, so you got to draw them. Anybody can draw two right triangles. You know they're right triangles because ETS tells you so. All right, what are the right angles? ETS tells you that they're G and K. Doesn't matter where the other letters go. They just have to be in the same places because these triangles are similar. What's similar mean? Similar means basically the same. All right, every trigonometry problem on the SAT, you can get it right with SOHCAHTOA. Sine, cosine, tangent. And you know this trigonometry problem can't be that hard. Why? Because it's medium. So what are we looking for? We're looking for sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine F is 308 over 317. That means that the opposite side is 308, and the hypotenuse side is 317. We're looking for sine J, so we're looking for opposite over hypotenuse. They're similar triangles. So what do you think the opposite is? I mean, look at the answer choices. But it's 308. Look at the hypotenuse here. What do you think that is? 317. So opposite over hypotenuse is 308 over 317. And guys, that is it. That's the answer. It's B. You can get this right real quick and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 13. What's the level of difficulty here? It's medium. It's the last medium question. A wire has a length of 106 inches. It's cut into two parts. One part has a length of X. The other part has a length of Y. The value of X is 6 more than 4 times the value of Y. What's the value of X? So write down what you're looking for, X. This problem is a classic plug in the answer choices problem. How do you know? It's because there's a variable or an unknown in the problem. Here there's 2, X and Y, and you have a strange urge to set up an algebra equation. When that happens to you, the odds are very good that you can plug in the answer choices. Here's how to do it. Write the answer choices vertically, A, B, C, D, and then label the answer choices. What are the answer choices? They're X, because that's what ETS asks about. What else is there? There's Y. And then just start somewhere. Where should you start? You should start in the middle, because if you start in the middle, you can see if you're too big or too small a lot of the time. I'm going to start with 56. So if X is 56, what's Y have to be? Well, when I add up X and Y, I'm supposed to get 106, right? 106 minus 56 is 50. So Y would have to be 50. 4 times the value of Y, 4 times 50 is 200, plus 6 is 206. That's what X is supposed to be. But X is 56, so that's not right. Now, which way should you go? You say, I don't know. So just go a direction. Try B. Try 28. If X is 28, the whole thing's 106, so 106 minus 28, do it on your calculator. It's 78. 4 times Y, 78 times 4 plus 6 is 318. You were supposed to get 28. Didn't get 28. Gone. Are you getting closer? Or are you getting further away from where you need to be? You're getting further away. So go to D. 86, total's 106. So what's y have to be? Has to be 20. 4 times the value of y. 4 times 20, that's 80 plus 6. Hey, that's 86. And that's what x is. So D has to be the answer. If you plug in the answer choices, you can get it right real quick. You can be absolutely sure you're right when you leave the problem. And it's just as fast as doing algebra, but you won't make any of the mistakes that people make doing algebra. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 14. What's special about Question 14? It's usually the first hard problem. For some people, this problem is going to be stupid hard. It gets people. You have to be really careful with it. It's an RTFQ question. Read the frickin' question. But more importantly, it's an RTFA question. Read the frickin' answers. A certain township consists of a 5-hectare industrial park and a 24-hectare neighborhood. The total number of trees in the township is 4,529. The equation 5x plus 24y equals 4,529 represents this situation. Which of the following is the best interpretation of x in this context? So let's write down what we're looking for. This problem is algebra and words. The way to do algebra and words problems is to deconstruct what's going on. So first of all, just what's x? X is trees where? Industrial park. All right, what's y? Y is trees where? Neighborhood. Okay, cool. So rewrite the equation. 5x plus 24y equals 4,529. And then what's x? Well, x is trees in the industrial park. A, B, C, D. Let's just first cross off answer choices. You know there's going to be answer choices that say trees in the neighborhood. A, trees in the industrial park. Fine. B, trees in the neighborhood. All right, that's obviously gone. C, trees in the industrial park. D, trees in the neighborhood. D's also gone. Okay, what's the difference between A and C? Average number of trees per hectare in the industrial park, total number of trees in the industrial park. And again, we're looking for x. So what's the difference here? The difference is that C, the total number of trees in the industrial park, well, what's 5x? That's the total number of trees in the industrial park, right? X is trees in the industrial park. 5 is the number of acres, so 5x is the total number of trees in the industrial park, so that's gone. A is the correct answer. Let's look at y real quick. This word average is, I think, the part that throws people. I just kind of want to discard it. The number of trees per hectare. So x, right, is trees per hectare. 5 is the number of hectares. So A is the answer. It's a thinking problem. There's not actually any math to do here. Make sure that you go slow and think it through, get it right, and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 15. What's the level of difficulty here? It's definitely hard. A slew of kids are going to say this is stupid hard. They're going to look at it. They're going to be pissed off that they got this kind of question because they just don't know the rules for exponents and roots. Which expression is equivalent to a to the 11 over 12, where a is bigger than 0? So the first thing I want to say is I haven't tried it, but it's possible you could just plug in a equals 2 here, and if your calculator, the Desmos calculator, can handle this level of exponentry and square rootery, maybe you can do it. You don't need to. It's very easy once you know the rules, and the rules are really simple. And once you get done with this problem, you're going to know the rules. Let's take simple numbers. Let's take x to the 2/3. All right, a fractional square root is really simple. You can rewrite it. You make a square root sign. You put the thing inside, the x inside. The 2 goes inside. It's x to the 2. And then the bottom number in the fraction goes outside. So the 3's here. It's cube root 3. Let's try another one. Let's try x to the 3/2. It's obviously a different number. How is it different? Well, if you do it this way, the top number in the fraction goes in the fraction. It's x to the 3rd. The bottom number in the fraction goes outside. Take the square root of it. And that's all you have to do. So we're looking for a to the 11/12. I'm going to write a, b, c, d here vertically, kind of spaced out. And I'm just going to go in here. So a to the what? To the 132 goes on top, and what goes on bottom? 12 goes on bottom. Okay? It's that simple. Now, can you reduce 132 and 12? You know that 12 squared is 144. 144 minus 12 is 132, so you know these numbers work. 132 divided by 12 is 11. So this is a to the what? A to the 11th. You were looking for a to the 11/12, so that's gone. Let's try b. A to the what? What goes on top? 132. And what goes on bottom? 144. I want to point something out to you here. Here, up here, the top number is smaller, the bottom number is bigger. Top number is smaller, bottom number is bigger. We're golden. You just did this. You know that 132 divided by 12 is 11. You can do it on your calculator if you're not sure. And you know, or you should know, that 144 divided by 12 is 12. So that's a to the 11/12. A to the 11/12. So you're done. You wouldn't do this on the test, but let's practice here if this is something that you're not familiar with. Let's do it again. A to the what? This is C. 132 goes on top. What goes on bottom? The outside number, 121. Okay, take a look up here. The top number is smaller, bottom number is bigger. Here, top number is bigger, bottom number is smaller. That's not going to work. That's gone. D. A to the, what goes on top? 132. And what goes on bottom? 11. You should know by now that 11 times 12 is 132. You do it in your calculator. 132 divided by 11, that's a to the 12th. We were looking for a to the 11/12. We knew it was going to be wrong, and now we know. The answer is B. You can get this problem real quick. You certainly did not need to do any of this work. That was just practice. Know these rules. This problem comes up a lot in SAT land. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 16. What's the level of difficulty here? It's definitely hard. A lot of people are going to look at this thing, they're going to see this crazy looking function, they're going to think it's stupid hard. That's fine. It's totally gettable. The function f is defined by f of x equals x minus 6 times x minus 2 times x plus 6. In the xy plane, the graph of y equals g of x is the result of translating the graph of y equals f of x up 4 units. What's the value of g of 0? So g of 0 is the question. We'll write it down and circle it. But what are you really doing on this question? All you're doing here is you're going to go up 4. So let's just write down the function. Remember that f of x is y. And you're going to write down this ugly looking thing. I don't think it's a good idea to think conceptually on the SAT, but conceptually, you're on the xy plane. If you're going to go up 4, where are you? You've got to be on the y-axis. You're going to go up 4 on the y-axis. So if you're on the y-axis, what is x? It's got to be 0. You don't have to know any of that crap. Just remember that when you're seeing an xy plane problem, a function, and you see parentheses like this, you always want to think about plugging in a 0. So we're going to make x equal to 0, y equals x minus 6, so 0 minus 6, negative 6, times 0 minus 2, negative 2, times 0 plus 6, 6. All right, negative 6 times negative 2, what's that? It's 12 times 6. So what's y? Y is 72 to start. And what do we want to do? We want to go up 4. So if we're going to go up 4 from 72, what's going to happen? We're going to be at 76. And that's it. That's the answer. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 17. What's the level of difficulty here? It's definitely hard. You got two equations. The solution to the given system of equations is xy. What's the value of x minus y? So write down what you're looking for and circle it. Guys, this problem is simultaneous equations. How do you know? Because you got two equations. Evil Testing Service loves simultaneous equations. They come up all the time. They're going to come up on your SAT. And when they do, all you got to do is stack them and then add or subtract. So start by rewriting the equations. Draw a line under them and make sure that you've got the y's lined up, the x's lined up, and the numbers lined up. Your goal when you add or subtract is to make something go away. This is a hard question, so you can expect wrinkles, and the wrinkle here is you can't add or subtract these equations to make anything go away. So what you're going to want to do is multiply or divide one of the equations so that you can make something go away. I'm going to multiply this equation by 4. Got to multiply every term, so 4 times y is 4y, 4 times 4x is 16x, and 4 times 4 is 4. I'm going to draw another line, and now I can subtract, but the other wrinkle is there's a bunch of negatives here, and it's going to make it really hard, so be careful. 4y minus 4y is 0. Be careful. 15x minus 16x. What's that? That is negative x. Be careful again. Negative 8 minus 4. What's that? That's negative 12. So I've got 0 equals negative x minus 12. I'm going to move my x across the equal sign. It's going to change signs. I got x equals negative 12. And now all I got to do is plug in the x into one of these equations. Should I use the easy one or the hard one? I'm going to use the easy one. So y equals 4 times negative 12, negative 48, plus 1. Y equals negative 47. Okay, man, I am done. I got x equals negative 12 and y equals negative 47. If I want, I could plug in those two, x and y, into this equation, make sure it works. All I got to do is say x minus y. I got to be careful again. Negative 12 minus, so it's negative 12 plus 47. Might want to use your calculator. That's 35. And guys, that's the answer. You get it right, and you move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 18. What's the level of difficulty here? It's hard. You've got a function. The given function f models the number of coupons a company sent to their customers at the end of each year, where t represents the number of years since the end of 1998. T is bigger than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 5. If y equals f of t is graphed in the ty plane, which of the following is the best interpretation of the y-intercept of the graph in this context? So guys, this is one of these problems that looks really hairy, and Evil Testing Service is counting on you to freak out because of the way it looks, but it's really very easy. Remember one rule. SAT functions love 0 and 1. So you're going to write the function. Remember that. What is f of t in a function? It's going to be y equals 8,000 times 0.65 to the what? SAT functions love 0 and 1. We're at the y-intercept. What's important about the y-intercept and an xy plane? In the y-intercept, x equals what? Equals 0. We're not in the xy plane. We're in SAT land, so we're in the ty plane. What do you think t is? It's x. So what do we want to make t? We want to make it 0. So we're going to rewrite this. 8,000 times 0.65 to the 0. What's anything to the 0? It's 1. So it's 8,000 times 1, which is 8,000. So y is 8,000 when x, but it's t, equals 0. So we got a little chart here, right? A chart is just like 1/4 of the xy plane. Y is 8,000 and x, that's t, is 0. All right, what is 0 in this little chart? It's 1998. So what's happening in 1998? 8,000. 8,000 what? 8,000 coupons. So let's write down A, B, C, D and see what we can cross off. A, the minimum estimated number of coupons the company sent to their customers during the 5 years was 1,428. Well, no, it's way more than that. It's at least 8,000. I don't know where 1,428 comes from. B, the minimum estimated number of coupons the company sent to their customers during the 5 years was 8,000. I suppose it's possible. It's not likely. C, the estimated number of coupons the company sent to their customers at the end of 1998 was 1,428. No, man, it's 8,000, so C's gone. D, the estimated number of coupons the company sent to their customers at the end of 1998 was 8,000. Hey, that's exactly what we found, so D is the answer. This problem is not very hard. Remember, SAT functions love 0 and 1. Get it right, and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 19. What's the level of difficulty here? It's hard. A landscaper uses a hose that puts 88x ounces of water in a bucket in 5 y minutes. Which expression represents the number of ounces of water the hose puts in the bucket in 9 y minutes at this rate? So what are we looking for? 9 y minutes. Guys, this problem is a plug-in. It's a gift. How do you know it's a plug-in? There's letters in the problem, and the answer choices are crawling with letters. All you got to do is make up numbers. Normally you want to try and make up good numbers, but the numbers that are in the problem are all messed up, so don't worry about it. Just make something up. Let's make x equal my favorite number to plug in, 2, and then let's make y something nice and easy, 10. So if we run the problem, 88x, 88 times 2, do that on your calculator. That's 176 water. And then the wrinkle here is that this is a proportion. 176 water in 5 y minutes. So how many minutes? 50 minutes. That's the same as how much water, so x water, in 9 y minutes. So 9 times 10, 90 minutes. You got a fraction and equal sign fraction. All you got to do is cross multiply. 176 times 90, that's more calculator math. That's 15,840, which is ugly, but you got a calculator, so what do you care? Equals 50x. Now you're just going to divide both sides by 50, and you're going to get this fairly ugly number, 316.8, if you plug in the numbers that I chose. But it doesn't matter what you plug in. Any numbers will work. So I'm going to write the answer choices vertically. A says 9x over 440. So that's 9 times 2, 18 over 440. Don't need to do anything with that. Obviously a little bitty fraction. 440 times x. 440 times 2 is 880 over 9. You can ballpark that. That's not going to be 316.8. This is easy. 5 times 2, that's 10 over 792. Is that going to be 316.8? No. Oh man, I hope this works. 792 times 2 over 5. Obviously calculator math. Guess what? When you do that math, you're going to get 316.8. So D's the answer. You get it right, you move on really quick, and I want to remind you that it does not matter what numbers you plug in. Any numbers will work. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 20. What's the level of difficulty here? It's hard. Got this really nasty looking equation. What's the smallest solution to the given equation? So we're going to start by rewriting the equation, except I'm going to start by writing the equation with a little bit less than what's there. All right, look at this equation. Is this equation very hard? It's okay hard, but it's not very hard. What about this equation? Why is this equation harder? Because both sides are square rooted. Can you get rid of that? How do you get rid of that? It's easy. You just square the whole thing. The square root of anything times the square root of itself is just the thing. So if you square the whole thing, it's just x minus 2 squared equals 3x plus 34. All right, what do you do now? You're going to FOIL this deal. X minus 2 times x minus 2. Don't need to worry about the other side. That's x squared minus 2x minus 2x minus 4x minus 2 times minus 2 plus 4. Okay, got some algebra here. No big whoop. What do we do? X squared minus 4x, we're going to move the 3x across, so minus 3x minus 7x, and then plus 4 minus 34 minus 30. What's on the right side? Nothing. If you've come to me because you read the ETS explanation on the practice test and were confused, I'm sorry about that stupid explanation. What do you do with this? You've been doing this for a long time. You make some parentheses and you see if you can like unfoil it. X goes here, X goes here. What are some things you can multiply together to get 30? 15 and 2. No way you're going to get to 7. How about 10 and 3? Yeah, that works. Got to put them in the right places. It's going to be minus 10 plus 3, because minus 10 and plus 3 is going to get you to negative 7. If you're not sure, do it over here. X minus 10 times x plus 3. If you FOIL it back, it's x squared minus 10x plus 3x minus 7x minus 10 times plus 3 is minus 30. Okay, cool. What's the smallest solution? Well, what's x minus 10? Equals 0. X is 10. What's x plus 3? Equals 0. X is negative 3. What's the smallest solution? It's negative 3. And that's it. Get this right and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 21. What's the level of difficulty here? It's hard. Triangle XYZ is similar to triangle RST such that X, Y, and Z correspond to R, S, and T respectively. The measure of angle Z is 20 degrees and 2XY equals RS. What's the measure of angle T? So we are looking for angle T. Write it down and circle it. All right, guys, where are these figures? They're not here. It does not say these triangles are right triangles or anything, so just draw triangles like you would in second grade. It says that X, Y, and Z correspond to R, S, and T. That means they're in the same places, so it doesn't matter where they go as long as you put them in the same places. It says angle Z is 20 degrees, all right? But the most important word here is similar. Guys, Evil Testing Service gets so much mileage out of the word similar, they must like own stock in the word similar. They use it all the time. Similar means basically the same. A good way to remember what similar means is it means that the shapes are the same. So these triangles have the same shape. And if they have the same shape, what can we say about each angle? They must be the same. So what do you think angle T is? Angle Z is 20. It's 20. And guys, that's all there is to this question. The answer is C. There's too much information here, which I guess can confuse some people. 2XY equals RS doesn't matter. Similar triangles means same shape, so angles are the same. You can get this right in 2 seconds and move on. We're on SAT Practice Test 9, Math Section 1, Question 22. What's the level of difficulty here? It's hard. Some people are going to find this stupid hard, but not you, because you're going to plug in. How do you know this is a plug-in? There's x's in the problem, there's x's in the answer choices, and a function is just Evil Testing Service asking you, can you follow directions? So you follow the directions with the number that you make up for x. F of x equals 9 times 4 to the x. The function f is defined by the given equation. If g of x equals f of x plus 2, which of the following equations defines the function g? All right, we could write down g here, but what are we really looking for? We're looking for f of x plus 2. So write that down and circle it. Write down this function, and then just plug in something for x. What's your favorite x in the whole wide world? Mine's 2. Because 2 does everything I want it to do. It's really small. There's no surprises. I am so conditioned to doing these kinds of functions to think that I'm going to have to plug in more than once that I want to advise you that you might have to plug in more than once on problems like this one. But let's just see what happens when we do this. So just follow the directions. You can do it. 9 times 4 to the what? 2. So what is that? It's 9 times 16. Do that on your calculator. And you get 144. Okay, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to do f of x plus 2. So what's our x? It's 2. So what's x plus 2? It's 4. So let's do the function with 4. What should I put right here? A 4. So it's 9 times 4 to the 4th. You got to get out your calculator or use the Desmos calculator and do this. It's 9 times 4 to the 4th is 256, and that's 2,304. So what should I circle? What am I looking for? I'm looking for when I did f of x plus 2, so I'm looking for 2,304. So I'm going to go down to the answer choices. I'm going to write them down vertically, put some space. Okay, there's just one wrinkle here. What am I supposed to put in for these x's? I'm supposed to put in 2, because that's what I made up for x. So it's 18 times 4 squared, which is 18 times 16, which you're going to do on your calculator. It's 288. What do you think? Is it 2,304? It's not, so it's gone. B says 144 times 4 squared, so times 16. Holy smokes, 2,304. Are you out of time? Pick B and move on. If you got some time, let's try C and D. 18 times 8 squared, so 18 times 64. Calculator math. It's 1152. What do you think about that? It's gone. And then this is 81 times 16 squared. That's 256 times 81, which is 20,000 and something. It's obviously too big. Guys, the answer to this question is B. You get it right, and congratulations. You're done with Math Section 1. On to Math Section 2, which is pretty hard.